Hey guys, so with Halloween being on Saturday, I thought I would just finish up these movie suggestion videos. If you didn't watch my last one, every year I just watch a whole bunch of horror movies all throughout the month, and I'm just suggesting them to people who may be looking for something spooky to watch during Halloween. Once again, check out my last video if you haven't, because there's a bunch of cool movies in that. But this video, I will start off with some of my absolute favorites, which would be the Universal Horror Collection. Uh, there isn't much I can really say about these that hasn't already been said 1,000 times by 1,000 other people. But, these are the movies that pretty much started it all. From the 30s and 40s by Universal, from Dracula, Frankenstein, The Invisible Man, The Wolfman, The Creature from the Black Lagoon, and The Mummy. Unfortunately, I don't have the Mummy collection. I've been looking all over for it, but can't find it anywhere. So if someone knows where that is, let me know, will ya? So yeah, like I said, for me, these are the movies that started it all. I saw a bunch of these when I was a little kid, and haven't been able to stop loving them ever since. Um, I think it was the Wolfman was the first one I saw, and that really triggered my love for these movies. Um, yeah, like I said, these movies are so fantastic. A lot of modern audiences might not like it because it's in black and white, and granted they are a little slow paced, but that doesn't detract from how great these movies actually are. I think it's kind of sad that some people will refuse to watch black and white movies, and they don't really have appreciation for some of the movies that started like the whole popularity of movies. Um, at the time these movies were a big deal. People were lined up around the block to see Frankenstein or Dracula, and at the time these movies were scary as hell. Like people would go and see Dracula, and then they wouldn't be able to sleep for like 2 weeks because it was so scary for them. Granted, times change and people find different things scary. Even by the 50s, people weren't really afraid of like the monsters; they were more afraid of like nuclear disasters and aliens and stuff like that. But that doesn't detract from how fantastic these movies are. Just because taste and things change doesn't mean these movies aren't good. Um, if you haven't seen them, I definitely suggest picking them up. You probably should have picked it up earlier though, because there's a lot of movies here. It take a lot of time to get through them all. Um, if you're looking for a good spooky thing to watch on a dark, stormy night with a lot of good atmosphere, definitely pick these up. Definitely, 4 stars, 100%. Some of the best movies ever made. Check it out, definitely. The next one is Poltergeist. So, I'm not usually a big fan of ghost movies, but this movie is so badass. It was directed by Tobe Hooper, who made The Texas Chainsaw Massacre, and it was produced by Steven Spielberg. So the production value is up the ass, and the scare value is even farther up the ass. Um, it's about a family that moves into a house and they start getting attacked by this fucking poltergeist that lives there. I'm not going to give it away if you haven't seen it, but it's really, really good. I saw the remake of this a couple months ago. I think it came out in August, which is another thing that pisses me off. Horror movies that come out in August. Isn't that stupid? Regardless, so I saw that in theaters, and it is complete and total garbage. Uh, it has a couple references to this one, but other than that, it's not even worth seeing. Which is really sad because Sam Raimi, the guy who made Evil Dead and shit, he produced it. So it's really sad seeing that someone who made some awesome movies like Evil Dead produced the remake of Poltergeist, and it was so shitty. Like everything about it was bad. But this movie, everything about it is good. So definitely check it out. But beware, because I heard there's a curse on this movie. Apparently, a couple of the actors died after this movie was released, including the little girl, which is pretty spooky. Do you believe in curses? Do you not? That's weird. I heard that in one of the scenes they have a bunch of skeletons coming out of the water, and I heard the rumor that those skeletons were like real skeletons because it was easier and cheaper just to buy medical supply skeletons than to make realistic skeletons out of plastic. So maybe that has something to do with the curse. I don't know. What do you guys think? Pretty spooky, eh? But yeah, regardless, definitely check this movie out. It's a good scary one. Poltergeist, 1980s version, not the 2015 version. It sucks. Alright, on to the next one. This is a good one. Hellraiser. A movie by Clive Barker. He's a writer and became a director and screenplay writer, I guess. This is based on his novel, The Hellbound Heart, and then later turned into the movie Hellraiser. It's about this guy who finds like this weird puzzle box, and like he opens it, and these weird fucking S&M demons come out and like rip them apart and shit. And then later, other people find the box. Not gonna ruin it for you, but it's once again it's a really good movie. The special effects are awesome in this. Pretty much again, production value up the ass. If you're into some really sick shit, now this is the movie for you. There's one scene where like this like zombie thing is like being put back together. Once again, I don't want to ruin it for you, but it's like so sick and gory and gross that it's and all gooey and shit. Um, yeah, I just love seeing shit like that. So if you're into like gory, gooey stuff, check this movie out. Once again, about Clive Barker, he made some really, really good movies like Hellraiser and Nightbreed. But it sucks because I watched one of his new movies on the PlayStation Network. I think it came out in like 2007 or whatever, and it was so bad. It's like really sad to think that Clive Barker went from making Hellraiser and Nightbreed to making whatever that I don't even like. It was so forgettable. I don't even remember the name of it, but it was like really bad. It had the guy from Dawson's Creek in it. I don't know if that'll make it better for you or not, but I fucking hated it 100%. But yeah, Hellraiser, check it out. Don't check it out any of the sequels. I didn't like any of them, but this movie is awesome through and through. Definitely check it out. Now here's a movie that I absolutely love, but for some reason a lot of people fucking hate this movie, and I don't get why. Halloween 3, Season of the Witch. Yeah, like I said, I think this movie gets way more hate than it deserves. I think it's because Michael Myers isn't in it, and everyone was expecting him to be in it. I don't know why, because at the end of Halloween 2, Michael Myers gets fucking blown up, and you see him fucking catch fire and his body get burned to a fucking crisp, but for some reason people expect him to be in Halloween 3. But yeah, after Halloween 2, they wanted to take the Halloween series in a different direction and make it an anthology series, so that every movie would have some other different scary story in it, which I think is a fantastic idea. This one is about this mask company that's making like these Halloween masks for children, and it would essentially murder the children when it was. Well, I don't want to ruin it, but the mask would kill the children. Um, yeah, so yeah, they want to turn it into an anthology series and do a whole bunch of different things instead of just rehashing the whole Michael Myers thing over and over and over again. And of course, after Halloween 3, that's exactly what they did. They wouldn't stop with the Michael Myers thing. They just drove the character right to the ground. Don't get me wrong, I like Michael Myers in Halloween 1 and 2. He's totally awesome. But once again, they just overdid it. They just drilled it right into the fucking ground and ruined the franchise, in my opinion. But yeah, definitely check out Halloween 3. It don't expect it to have Michael Myers in it, but it's still a good scary movie. I'm pretty sure it was produced by John Carpenter, who made Halloween 1 and 2. So even he wanted to do something different with the series, but whatever company was involved decided just to fucking throw it into the ground. This is a movie that I'd actually been looking for a really long time, and I couldn't find it anywhere, and anytime I would find it, they'd be charging like $40 for it. Then I just went online to Walmart.ca and it was there for $10. So try to figure that one out, right? But yeah, once again, check this movie out. It's awesome. It's scary. Cool story. Yeah, check it out. 4 stars. Here's more of a modern movie that has a pretty cool cult following to it, which is Trick or Treat. This came out in 2007, I believe. I could be wrong on that, but whatever. Yeah, it's a modern horror movie. Once again, goes for an anthology feel. Has a bunch of different stories into it that come together at the end, which is really cool. Yeah, it has a lot of really cool stuff in it. Like, it's not just one psycho killer. It has like a psycho killer in it, werewolves, like a vampire type thing, zombies. So it's not just one boring story of just a psycho going around killing people. It has a whole bunch of really cool stuff coming together. And of course, it has the mascot Sam, the little trick or treat boy, which I think he's cute as hell. He's scary as hell too. But yeah, this movie is just like there's something about it that it's so awesome, right? I find that like a lot of modern horror movies are complete garbage now. Like the Paranormal Activity movies, I fucking hate those. I think they're so stupid. The Saw movies don't do anything for me at all. Just for my liking, way too many ghost movies in theaters. Remake of Poltergeist, obviously. But yeah, this movie just really takes Halloween movies to a new level that hasn't been done in a really, really long time. And I think that's why people love it, because a lot of horror fans have been going to the theaters and seeing these fucking garbage horror movies or thrillers or whatever you want to call it, and then something like this finally comes out and it's great. So yeah, check it out, man. Absolutely, if you haven't seen this movie, check it out. I hear there's a sequel being made. As much as I usually don't like sequels, I cannot wait for the sequel for this. It's going to be awesome. Yeah, 100%. Check this movie out. If you're going to watch any movie this Halloween, I suggest checking out Trick or Treat if you haven't seen it. Yeah, and if you have seen it, watch it again. Yeah, absolutely. Now here is probably my favorite movie of all time, which is John Carpenter's The Thing. Um, Once again, this movie I can't say much about this that 1,000 people haven't already said. Once again, the guy who made Halloween made this. In Halloween, there's a scene where like they're watching movies on TV, and the original Thing from Another World is on the TV. I think John Carpenter was just a really big fan of that movie, and he wanted to put his own spin on it. It's based on the book Who Goes There. Unfortunately, I haven't been able to find it and read it, but I hear the monster in this is a lot more similar to the monster in the book, opposed to the 1950s version, which was like a Frankensteinish thing. But it was made in the 50s, so you can't really expect the special effects to be as good as the ones in this movie. Yeah, if you haven't seen it, it's about a bunch of guys who are on a science expedition up in the North Pole, and they uncover an alien that can change shape as to anything that's ever really come into contact with. Anything it's devoured, it can change into that anytime it wants. What I love about this movie is the paranoia and the atmosphere to it. Like, it's just a group of guys that are stuck in the North, and they have no choice but to deal with this, and they don't know who is the thing and who isn't, or what it is and what it can become. So just like for me, it's so scary knowing that like you're trapped here. There's nothing you can do. You don't know who you can trust. You don't even know if you can trust yourself. If you haven't seen this movie, pick it up. Once again, this is a movie that if you've never seen it before, I suggest picking it up and watching it this Halloween. It will scare you to death, and the special effects are so amazing. I can't even begin to describe it because there's so many different scenes that have so many cool special effects with the thing changing and twisting and eating people and shit. So yeah, check this movie out. Oh, I guarantee you will love it, 100%. 5 stars, no doubt about it. My favorite movie of all time. Watch this movie. Now, this last movie I want to show you, I'd be really impressed if anyone knows what it is. But once again, I'm not going to blame anyone who hasn't seen it, and I really can't blame you for not watching it. Werewolf Fever. Now, a lot of people are asking what the fuck is Werewolf Fever. If you haven't seen it before, it is, well, obviously you haven't seen it before, but when I was growing up, I lived in a small farming town in the middle of butt-fuck nowhere, Canada. The population was like 85% old people, so there was really absolutely nothing for kids to do there until one day when I was like the 10th grade. It was announced that like they were making, like an independent movie company was making a movie in my town, and I thought, holy shit, this is fucking amazing. And it's a werewolf movie. I fucking love werewolves. They're badass. So when I heard this, I could barely fucking contain myself. So and then the movie theater in town made this huge big deal about it, and a huge event about it, and everyone in town showed up to watch it, which is pretty awesome. They had the movie maker, the 2 guys who made it there. They had the werewolf costume. I'm probably overhyping this because this movie actually isn't that good. It's really silly. The acting is terrible. The werewolf looks like something like a bad Jim Henson's puppet, but it's more of a nostalgic value for me because once again, I grew up in a town with nothing for kids to do, and then out of nowhere, like they make a werewolf movie for kids. Well, not for kids, but like they made a werewolf movie that's something cool for young kids to finally get into, teenagers and kids and shit. And yeah, so this really is a big deal for me. You might be able to find it online. Once again, it really isn't that good of a movie. I'm just liking it so much because of the nostalgic value of it. But yeah, Werewolf Fever. It's stupid. It's silly. The werewolf is really silly looking. Pretty awesome, you know. So yeah, that is pretty much all the movies that I watch during the Halloween season. I hope you guys have a great Halloween, safe Halloween, have a lot of fun. If you have kids, take them out trick-or-treating, get them in cute little costumes, get yourself in really cool costumes too. Once again, comment in the sections if you've seen this movie. If you've seen these movies, what do you think? Do you like them? Do you hate them? Give me movie suggestions last minute so I can pick them up. and watch them myself on Halloween, check out my last video. So it's there's more movies in there that you can check out and stuff. Yeah, have a great Halloween. Check me out on Instagram. I'll throw that in the description section or whatever. So yeah, have a happy Halloween, guys.